In this video, I'm going to be telling you what the big Amazon sellers don't tell you. Some observations I've come across over the years selling $4 million with Amazon online arbitrage in terms of stuff I don't hear talked about on social media, stuff I see that big Amazon sellers do, that those that don't succeed don't do, and how you guys can take action on that stuff today. If you're new, welcome. My name is Miles. I'm a 24-year-old full-time Amazon online arbitrage seller. Also, if you're new to the channel, make sure to subscribe. We're also running a sale on our coaching program right now, so if you're interested in applying for that and you're very serious about working directly with me, weekly coaching calls, I review your buys, you learn all the coupon strategy stuff I don't talk about on YouTube, consider applying for that in the link in the description. Either way, let's get right in the video. I'm wearing the podcast merch right now of the Buy Box Bandits podcast, where we've had the pleasure of interviewing over 100 big Amazon sellers over the past year and a half, almost 2 years. And I've really been able to pick up a lot of stuff, really talking with them, learning from them, and just overall my experience the past couple years learning. But one big thing that big Amazon sellers focus on, that new Amazon sellers and those that don't succeed, they just focus on what's important, and that's finding profitable products, doing activities that lead them to finding more profitable products, learning edges, studying, talking to other sellers, everything like that. Meanwhile, beginner Amazon sellers are so focused on what printer to use and whether to polybag something, or like, is it gonna piss Amazon off or whatever, when meanwhile, if they just steamrolled ahead towards finding lots of profitable products, putting more time, energy, resources into sourcing, they would be able to find success a lot quicker. Basically, there are no shortcuts. You have to put the time in to learn, but the nice thing is that your output per unit of time skyrockets as you go. And that's what another thing that big Amazon sellers don't tell you, is that they actually work a lot less than they used to. Or maybe they work more hours, but they get a lot more done that time, because time, skill, relationships have all compounded for them. And I know that's hard to see if you're brand new, but it's just the way it is. You gotta understand that when you're new, you gotta learn a ton of stuff. You gotta learn how to create a shipment, send products to Amazon, you gotta learn to use SellerAmp, learn to use Keepa, learn to use Repricer, everything like that. Meanwhile, after a couple months, you can just focus on purely what's important, which is finding profitable products. You just have to learn that stuff initially. And it's hard to see that when you're new, because you haven't done one business for an extended period of time, but I promise you, that's the only way it's gonna work, is if you focus on it for the long time. The people you see that their sales are growing quick, you see those beautiful orange bars on Instagram, on Twitter, they're putting in a lot of concerted effort every day, and that's what's moving them towards their goals. Another thing I see from big Amazon sellers that I don't see from small Amazon sellers is full accountability and commitment. They own that they're an Amazon seller. They're happy to talk about it. They definitely don't worry about the opinions of others, but they absolutely understand and take full accountability of stuff, and they're not afraid to say it. Meanwhile, a lot of new Amazon sellers are scared to own that they're doing Amazon. They're scared to talk about it. They're scared to talk to other sellers because they're afraid that it might not work, and they don't want to take full accountability of it. Meanwhile, if you take full accountability of it and own that this is, going to be a big part of your life, and especially if you want to do it full time, you better take it fully seriously. You have to take full accountability of it and be proud that this is, now what you're going to do, and you have to go fully at it, because that's the only way it's going to work. You have to have full focus, commitment, and understand that you might be really bad at it at the start. You're going to be really bad at the start, but that's the only way to eventually get good. A lot of you guys watching this right now are sitting every night trying to source products, and you're struggling with it. And you're sitting there by yourself. You're only finding opportunity that you're finding. Meanwhile, your competition, big Amazon sellers, are on Discord with their friends. They're on Instagram with their friends. They're working as a team, basically. They're technically like cheating on the test pretty much, but the nice thing is you're completely allowed to, and a lot of you guys still do it by yourselves because you give yourself fake labels of an introvert, or I don't know what to talk about to other sellers. Meanwhile, those people like myself who documented from day one, you can scroll back and see it on Instagram. We've always had it a lot easier because we're working as a team, right? The guys I do the Buy Box Bandits podcast with, since day one, we were getting on Zoom, we were sharing leads, we were getting on Discord, and the way we found each other was all just through social media for $0 basically. So that's why I'm so big on that stuff. But a couple months ago, I was speaking at Miami Sellers Conference, and pretty much every seller there on stage was making 6 figures, multi-6 figures, some even 7 figures in profit annually, and they were all talking about how important networking is, how important the community is, everything like that. And a lot of you guys watching this haven't gotten in and started doing that for a variety of reasons that you don't want to take full accountability of it. You're afraid what your high school friends will think if you were talking about it on social media. Just start a new account. That's what I did. They're not gonna find it. And if they do, who cares? Their opinions don't pay your bills. Their opinions aren't gonna build wealth. Your skills, your network, being accountable to yourself, having full focus is what's gonna build wealth for yourself. So that's what you need to focus on. Another thing that I absolutely don't see talked about enough is the importance of credit, and ultimately that being the driver of a lot of people having success quick, including myself. And I think I've personally not talked about this enough too. I've used credit a lot over the years. I definitely don't recommend it for everyone. It adds a lot of risk to your business, but that is how a lot of people online are able to grow quick, is once they have a winning formula, is adding fuel to the fire, leverage, Amazon loans, business credit, stuff like that. Please do not do that if you don't understand the risks associated with it, but oftentimes people are so surprised by seeing people grow really quick, and that's ultimately the driver behind it, is typically business credit. And the nice thing is it also provides you unlimited free travel basically, which is like a nice benefit of it too. And I've the past 2 years done like 60 free hotel nights, free flights, tons of cash back. I made like 22 grand cash back profit from one credit card last year, and got a bunch of free hotel nights basically. But business credit is definitely something that's not talked about enough. The risks associated with it definitely aren't talked about enough, but absolutely something that is something that big sellers utilize, that small sellers don't. Big sellers utilize it the right way and don't get themselves in trouble because they take time to really understand, think things out, and get after it. Another thing that big sellers do that new sellers don't is they're just not afraid of hard work. Like, it's crazy the amount of new sellers I see these days that want to start with the prep center immediately, that are afraid of returns on shoes, that don't want to do merchant filled. Meanwhile, they started this to make money and eventually do it full time, and they're afraid of doing the hard work necessary to see results. They're afraid of talking to other sellers. They're afraid of putting in long hours doing product research. But what's your other option? What's your other option? You have to be able to really do this for it to work, and it's the only way. And I sit here and tell you guys what's worked for me over the years, and that was doing prep in-house to save money. It was doing a lot of merch fill. It was networking with other sellers. It was having a lot of concerted focus, taking full accountability of being an Amazon seller and everything like that. And still, I think a lot of you guys just, maybe don't believe it or whatever, but I'm gonna keep saying what's worked for me over the years. Feel free to try it out, and I think it'll work for you as well. But overall, just in terms of like what I see from big Amazon sellers, just definitely a long-term mindset. It's focus. It's not being afraid of doing hard work. It's understanding that it's who, not how. That teamwork is the key to this game, because everyone I know that's really successful has Amazon sellers they talk to on a day-to-day basis, which gives them a huge edge. They see opportunity that they didn't find, and they often paid $0 for. They just combined. They talk on Discord, they talk on the phone, they talk on Zoom weekly, and a lot more stuff gets done than purely what you can find on your own, especially if you're brand new. And I just think it's crazy to try and do it on your own when you can just meet other people on Discord or on Twitter that are like-minded, that you will have a lot of fun talking to, that would lead you to working less, laughing more, and making more profit overall, because it'll be a lot more fun if you can find people to do it with that you like. So I hope this video was helpful for you guys, and you consider implementing some of the stuff that I recommend. And that if you want more tactical videos, you can check out a bunch of those on my channel. But you guys need to understand it's going to be a lot of hard work. Work with other sellers on it. Makes it a lot more easy, a lot more fun. Do the stuff that isn't scalable. Right? That's what gives you the edge. It's merchant fulfilling the product quick. It's staying up late for a restock, or being notified of restock by the other people that you built relationships over time. It's documenting your process and your journey on Instagram the way I did, the way Billy Flips did, the way all of our other friends did, that led us to meeting and then led us to shooting up way quicker. And it is definitely understanding that a lot of people you see growing quick online, they are taking on a lot of additional risk, and credit cards potentially and everything, and that adds a bunch of risk, but it can be a necessary fuel to fire to grow a really quick and really profitable Amazon business if utilized correctly. That's the key right there. So thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one.